Hi, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. This is your tip of the week and it's all about how to match plaids and stripes when you're putting it into a seam. So let's take a look at some clothing that I have purchased. We're going to look at those seams. This is a t-shirt that I've had for quite a while and I wanted to show you the seam. So here is the seam right here. Now I got lucky when I purchased this one because the stripes match exactly. Now when you have just two colors in your fabric, it's much easier to match it up. But sometimes you have fabrics with multiple colors. Each stripe is a different color and you want to match it all up. Now let's take a look at some plaid. Here is a seam on a plaid shirt that I have. You can see the plaids don't match at all. Now maybe to some of you, you don't care, then don't worry about it. But for me, I like my plaids especially to match up because they're so big, especially this one. There's a big gap between the repeat. So you've got this wider section here, a skinny one, a wider one. So often you have to move your pattern pieces around to get everything to line up. This is my pattern layout sheet for just a basic blouse that has set-in sleeves. When you're looking at how to lay your pattern pieces out, you'll have a section in your pattern like this, and it tells you how to lay all of your pieces and the different widths. For instance, this is a narrower width of fabric and this is wider. So there's a different way to lay them out. If you don't have plaids or stripes or directional prints in them, you don't really need to worry about matching the pieces together all that well. So when you're buying fabric, on all of your patterns, on the back of the envelope, it will say, when purchasing fabric in which you're using plaids and stripes, you need to purchase more fabric, but it doesn't tell you how much. When you buy your fabric and you're getting ready to lay your pattern pieces out, you need to look to make sure that when it's folded in half like this, selvage edge to selvage edge, this set of stripes may not necessarily be lined up with the stripes on the other side. And you can see it doesn't. So before you cut into it, you need to take the time to shift it and line it up. Sometimes if it's way off, you may have to completely unfold your fabric and cut a piece out at one time. In other words, if you're making a blouse, you might need two pieces cut for the back, left and right side. So you may have to unfold your fabric and cut each piece out separately, making sure that it's all lined up in the same place, so when you stitch them together, it's all matching up correctly. On this pattern piece, it's for the front of a blouse. The center area here is to be placed on the fold of the fabric. Remember what I said about the side underneath may not necessarily be lined up. So even though it says place on the fold, don't assume that at the fold it's lining up correctly. It may already be going off in an opposite direction than the piece on top. So there again, I want to stress, refold the fabric correctly so that everything is lined up. These little triangle shapes on this piece and this piece are called notches, and they're used for matching. So this is the front pattern piece for the blouse and the back pattern piece for the blouse. So in these notches, when you're stitching these two pieces together, it's to help you match. So when you're laying your individual fabric pieces out, for instance, I may put the point of this notch right in the center of these two red stripes right here. So I need to make sure that this pattern piece is also placed right in there too. But this pattern piece may be down the road on this long piece of fabric. So you need to pay attention to where each little notch is placed. Now maybe you're making a shirt or blouse where the stripes are going up and down. They go from the top all the way straight down. They're not going horizontal, they're going vertical. So then you have notches at your shoulders seams. So again, you need to place those notches on the same stripe. No matter where it is on the fabric, make sure if it's on a black stripe, a pink stripe, a blue stripe, that they're on the same color of stripe so that the stripes will flow better over the shoulder area. When you're working with your plaids and you're trying to match up shoulder and side seams, sometimes it just doesn't work for both. Sometimes you get lucky and you can get it all shifted around. So sometimes you have to pick which seam is most important to you. It takes a lot of finagling and a lot of shifting around. You may need to purchase anywhere from only 1/8 of a yard extra on some fabrics, but maybe a 1/4 of a yard to 1/3 of a yard or even more on your really large plaid patterns. Here's 2 more samples of just stripe fabrics. And you can see that it repeats itself about every 2 inches. So you probably won't have to buy a lot of extra fabric if you have a very small repeat distance on it. But there are a lot of different colors in this. So you have to make sure you shift that notch over to one of these stripes and they're both the same color of stripe. Now here is stripe fabric. It's not real harsh stripes like this. It's a little faded. But on a side seam, it's going to be very noticeable if it's not matched up. So this repeat looks 6 or 7 inches. So you may have to buy that much extra just to cover the distance between these stripes. I'm now going to demonstrate actually sewing the seams together and getting it matched. I'm just going to do a very, very basic seam. Now here is some fabric that I purchased at Joann Fabrics and Crafts. This is their Platitude line of plaid fabrics. I just love it. I buy some every year and make something out of it. All I'm going to make is a simple table runner. Well, you're thinking, why do I need to worry about matching plaids in a table runner? You do, because I want to make it extra long. So I'm going to have a seam in the middle. So I have to be very careful on this large plaid where I decide to cut and how I'm going to match it up. But first I want to show you how fabric can be cut at the fabric shop. So here is a raw edge. Now this was the beginning edge when I purchased it. When I went up to the table, this edge had already been cut. So I added a little extra in already. I think I added an extra 1/4 of a yard because I knew this was wide and I wanted to make sure I could match it up. But also look at how it doesn't match up when it's folded. In fact, when it gets to this edge here, it actually curves off like that. Now I'm going to use this end, but it'll be at the very end of the table runner. I'm not going to try to take this curve end and match it in my center seam. So you have to analyze your fabric. Now, when I took it to the cutting table, I'm going to show you the other edge. I made sure that the person cutting it cut on the same edge, and that individual did. But see, it's still not matched up. So I have a decision. Do I want to go to the trouble of reshifting and folding it all together, or do I want to just really make sure everything's going to be good to where I just unfold it and cut it straight across, matching the area or going right along that stripe that I want to cut. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, I've got my 2 pieces cut out. Now they match going this way. Now I have a dilemma, a decision to make here. When I clean up these edges and I stitch them together, this section of the plaid is not going to be symmetrical to these 2 right here. So I need to decide where I'm going to cut it, so when I stitch the 2 pieces together, the repeat is exactly the same. So I measured the distance between here and here. These 2 stripes right here. It is about 2 1/8 inches. All right, so I'm going to be doing a 1-inch seam. So I'm going to cut my fabric here on this piece and here on this piece. So when I stitch the 2 pieces together, doing a 1-inch seam, and I have a reason for my 1-inch seam, which I'll go over in a moment, this distance will be the 2 inches. Might be slightly off, but it won't be very noticeable if it's off just a little bit. When you go to bring front sides together, I pin mine and I place a lot of pins, and I place them a lot on where all the little stripes are, because I want to make sure it doesn't shift when I am stitching. So here is my seam right here. Now the stripes just shifted just slightly there, so that's why I want to encourage you to make sure you use a lot of pins to make sure the fabric doesn't shift very much. But look how it stays very even going across. So that's what you want to make sure that you do. Now I'm going to give you one more tip, is how to finish off a seam on a loose weave fabric and you don't have a serger. I use this fabric a lot when I make ponchos. Because it is so fuzzy, warm, and soft. I really enjoy this fabric. But when you're making something like a poncho, sometimes the wind blows and you see your seam or whatever. So I like to use this method when I don't want any kind of raw edge to show. Let's say you don't have a serger. Well, I like a serger to use it on a lot of my clothing, but on this particular fabric, I don't. So what I did was, because I cut my seam extra wide, I fold the raw edge towards the seam right here and pressed it. Then fold it again and press. And then stitch right along this edge here. And you want to lengthen your stitch because the fabric is pretty thick by now. And then you would do the same thing on this side, so this side here. And it has a really nice finished edge. Now I want to mention one more thing. When you're trying to match your plaids and stripes, it's a good idea to wash the fabric. Make sure it's pressed really well. Now some of your fabrics maybe that you're using, maybe you're making a jacket and it has to be dry cleaned, then just make sure it is pressed really, really well. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tip of the week and that you learned something new. If you want to watch other tips of the week, there will be a link below your YouTube screen that you can go to. Also, there'll be links to other beginners sewing projects. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.